Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed back to the world of Last Epoch with our pre-patch hype week day 2. Now day 1 was all about immersion with our ears. We got to listen to the new skill sounds and the new music coming to the game on March 9th, the highly anticipated 090 multiplayer update. And today we're going to talk about immersion with our eyes. 11th hour games, Last Epoch has always gotten a lot of crap that, the game looks dated. It's using Unity and not Unreal Engine. I don't know if I'm feeling it. And I will say that being someone that's played the game for 3 years and has over 1,500 hours into it, these levels do get stale. And that's how it is, depending on, it doesn't really matter how it looks if you've played it over and over again. Now, when you're talking about visuals, every single time Last Epoch drops an update, that little gap as far as visuals and current competition always closes a little bit. And I think you're going to be impressed with what I have to show you today. I'm going to link this in the description, and I will put that sound day 1 video at the end of this video if you want to watch or listen. So here we go. All right, the first thing we're going to start with is Lagan's Temple. And I always thought Lagan's Temple was one of the better looking things inside of the game. Our level design team has used our newest terrain tools to achieve localized wetness and blend dirt texture into the floor to make the area more distinct and stand out as a whole new experience. And I've played Lagan's Temple hundreds of times. Probably not 100, like 50 times, because, you know, this is leveling. And I will say that this looks a whole lot better. You can kind of feel that it looks wet. And yes, that's what she said. As far as the dirt, what does it say? Blend dirt texture. I don't know if I see that. I mean, I guess maybe a little bit on the floor. Maybe if this was in 4K and I was playing it on the 4090, I would see it more. But at least in this case, Lagan's Temple does look better. Looks a little more menacing too, seeing as you're going to fight one of the main bosses. All right, moving down. The new end of time zone. Now, I noticed the end of time and the big improvements during the last event, the free weekend, when we were able to play multiplayer. Previously, the end of time was not as visually distinct of an area as we would have liked, given the importance in the story, gameplay, and as the primary central hub in Last Epoch. I agree. The end of time should look better than anything else because that's where we're going to be spending most of our time. So check out the new and improved end of time. Ooh, Again, I already did get to see this in game. It is way better. And by the way, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that big orange black hole in the background, I think that's the Shade of Oribus's home. I feel like I remember hearing that. I think. Okay. Moving on down. Lighting. Okay. Lighting. This is unequivocally my favorite. Okay. So I'm telling you, it's my favorite. Instead of having localized God rays, we are now setting volumetric parameters for a whole scene where light sources can properly react with these volumes, creating more believable fog. And look at this believable fog. Dude, that flash of light. I really like this one. This is immersion. That is immersion. Very, very cool. Now you understand the intro for the video. That movie's The Fog, by the way. As we move down, we're going to be looking at the void. We can also use volumetric properties to create visual effects, such as in the ravine, having thick fog volume illuminated by glowing void assets. All right, let's check out the glowing void assets. So when you look in the ravine, you look in the canyon, you look right there, it almost looks like you could breathe it in. Like, again, it's like kind of like a fog. You want to stay away from it, like a poison. And it is definitely glowing. Look at that. It's, again, if you played Last Epoch a lot, like, these are huge visual improvements. Huge. All right, we continue down. Vegetation shaders. Vegetation shaders. It also means vegetation is now consistent with the same shading and lighting models. Wait a second. Meaning vegetation not only looks better, but it also generally results in improved performance of these shaders across the board. Okay, so here's the vegetation shaders. And you will see this, obviously, the light coming through the trees, casting these shadows. You could see everything moving in the wind. You can see the leaves falling over here. Even the colors, too, like the bright action RPG flowers. Vegetation. Okay. What else do we got here? We're very excited, and you will see many of these effects coming in patch 09. And that just shows, is that an Acolyte maybe? Standing on the top of the steps, and you got the void, and you got the cemetery, and it's very eerie, and you see everything with the wind moving. I'm telling you, these are huge improvements. With the new scene assets, volumetric lighting, and vegetation shaders at our disposal, we're bringing the world of Eterra to life in a much more immersive way. Patch 09 will bring these improvements and many more zones to Last Epoch during the Convergence update on March 9th, and then we look forward to more scenes receiving these improvements on the road to 1.0. Pretty darn good. I think they did a good job on all of these. Actually, I think Lagon's Temple was probably the least impressive, but maybe it would be impressive if I was actually logged into the game. But my favorite was the fog. I want to know your favorite. Do you think this adds to immersion? Do you think the new sounds mixed with the new visuals is going to make people happy with the way LE looks? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. 2 asks at the end of this video. Ask number 1, I'm hoping today is the day I have earned your subscription. I'm hoping today is the day you make the decision to push that little red button. I would really appreciate it. It really does help the channel as we are moving through 2023. Ask number 2, check out my Patreon. Thank you to the first 63 members that have signed up. Become an instant ARPG VIP and get Patreon exclusive content at the first link in the description. Weekly blog post, weekly podcast, access to the VIP lounge so you could chit chat with me, access to the VIP audio, which we use when we stream together. So if you ever want to stream with me or play and be on audio during my streams, that is Patreon only. First link in the description. Hopefully you were entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.